Waste is a natural part of life. Plants and animals grow, consume, and leave behind what they no longer need. In nature, there is no waste. One organism's byproduct fuels another's growth. Take bird droppings, for example. What we might perceive as unpleasant waste is actually a potent source of nutrients. By embracing natural methods, we participate in a sustainable cycle that benefits our gardens and the planet. In this video, we'll uncover the secrets to transforming bird feces into a valuable resource for your garden. Bird feces, particularly from chickens, ducks, and geese, are rich in nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. These are the essential nutrients that plants crave for healthy growth. However, this nutrient density is a double-edged sword. The high nitrogen content, while beneficial in the long run, can damage plants if applied directly. It's like overfeeding your plants. Too much of a good thing can be harmful. Hot compost needs time to break down and become gentler for your plants. This process, known as aging or composting, allows beneficial microorganisms to work their magic. These tiny helpers break down the complex compounds in the feces into simpler forms that plants can easily absorb. This aging process is crucial not only for the health of your plants, but also for your own safety. Raw poultry manure can harbor harmful bacteria like Salmonella and E. coli, which can pose health risks to humans. Aging the manure reduces these risks significantly, making it safe to handle and use in your garden. In the next section, we'll explore the various methods for effectively aging bird feces, turning this potential hazard into a horticultural hero. What makes bird droppings so potent? To understand this, we need to peek into the composition of their waste. Unlike mammals, birds don't have separate systems for liquid and solid waste. This concentrated mix is particularly rich in nitrogen. Nitrogen is a key player in plant growth, responsible for leafy green development and overall vigor. Along with nitrogen, bird droppings are also packed with phosphorus and potassium. This powerhouse trio of nutrients needs to be carefully managed. Aging allows for the controlled breakdown of these nutrients into forms more readily absorbed by plants. Imagine pouring boiling water directly onto your plants. Not a pretty sight, right? That's similar to what happens when you apply fresh, uncomposted bird manure to your garden. The high nitrogen content can burn plant roots, causing wilting, stunted growth, and even death. Aging or composting acts as a cooling-off period for this hot manure. During this process, beneficial microorganisms break down the complex organic matter in the manure into simpler, more plant-available forms. Composting is like slow cooking a tough steak, breaking down the tough fibers, making it easier to digest, and eliminating harmful elements. This breakdown process not only makes the nutrients more accessible to plants, but it also helps to eliminate pathogens that might be present in fresh manure. This is crucial for protecting the health of your garden and anyone who enjoys its bounty. Time, the alchemist of transformation. Just as a fine wine needs time to mature, transforming bird droppings into valuable fertilizer requires patience. The time it takes to age the manure depends on several factors, including the type of bird, the composting method used, and the environmental conditions. Chicken manure, being the hottest, requires a longer aging period compared to duck or goose manure. A good rule of thumb is to allow at least 6 months to a year for chicken manure to compost properly. Various composting methods can speed up or slow down this process. Hot composting can significantly reduce the aging time, while cold composting might take longer but requires less active management. Maintaining the right balance of temperature and moisture ensures efficient composting and a nutrient-rich end product. The art of composting, turning waste into wealth. Now that we understand the why behind aging bird manure, let's delve into the how. Composting creates the ideal environment for beneficial microorganisms to thrive. These microscopic helpers break down the complex organic matter in the manure into simpler plant-available nutrients. There are various methods to compost bird manure, each with its pros and cons. The most common methods include composting in piles, bins, or tumblers. Regardless of your chosen method, the key is to create the right balance of carbon and nitrogen, also known as the C/N ratio. Bird manure is naturally high in nitrogen, so it needs to be balanced with carbon-rich materials like straw or wood chips. Hot versus cold. Choosing your composting path. When it comes to composting, there are two main approaches: hot composting and cold composting. Hot composting is like a fast-track program, requiring a bit more effort upfront but delivering results more quickly. It involves maintaining a high temperature within the compost pile, typically between 130 to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. This heat accelerates the decomposition process, allowing you to produce finished compost in a matter of weeks rather than months. Cold composting is a more laid-back approach. You simply pile up your materials and let nature take its course. This method generally takes several months to a year to produce finished compost. The choice between hot and cold composting depends on your individual needs and preferences. The waiting game patience for a potent product. While the waiting game might test your patience, remember that you're facilitating a fascinating transformation, turning what was once waste into a valuable resource. During this aging process, the once pungent pile of manure undergoes a remarkable metamorphosis. The volume gradually shrinks as the organic matter breaks down, and the initial heat subsides. The texture transforms from a lumpy, heterogeneous mass into a crumbly, earthy-smelling substance, the telltale sign of well-aged compost. But the real magic is happening at the microscopic level. Millions of bacteria, fungi, and other microorganisms are hard at work, breaking down the complex organic compounds in the manure into simpler forms that plants can readily absorb. Ready, set, grow signs. Your compost is garden ready. After weeks or months of patient waiting, how can you tell if your compost is finally ready for its grand debut in your garden? The compost should have a rich, earthy aroma, reminiscent of the forest floor after a rain shower. The texture should be crumbly and loose, resembling dark, rich topsoil. The compost should have shrunk significantly in volume, ideally to about 1/3 of its original size. Finally, the compost should be cool to the touch, indicating that the heat-generating phase of decomposition is complete. The unseen risks in our gardens. While we celebrate the benefits of natural fertilizers like aged bird manure, it's crucial to acknowledge and address the potential health risks involved. Raw bird manure can harbor harmful bacteria, viruses, and parasites that can pose health risks to humans. While composting significantly reduces these risks, it doesn't eliminate them entirely. Understanding safe handling practices is paramount, ensuring that our gardening endeavors are both productive and safe. Our hands are our primary tools in the garden, often coming into direct contact with the soil and any amendments we add, including composted manure. This makes hand washing the single most effective way to prevent the spread of harmful microorganisms from the garden to our homes and bodies. By incorporating simple safety measures into our gardening routine, we can enjoy the fruits of our labor without compromising our health. Among the potential hazards lurking in untreated bird manure are two notorious culprits, Salmonella and E. coli. These bacteria can cause a range of unpleasant symptoms, from mild gastrointestinal distress to more serious infections. Salmonella, often associated with poultry, can survive for extended periods in the environment, including soil. It can be transmitted through direct contact with contaminated material or indirectly through contaminated water or surfaces. Symptoms of Salmonella infection typically include fever, diarrhea, abdominal cramps, and vomiting. E. coli, another common bacterium found in the intestines of animals including birds, can also contaminate soil and water. While most strains of E. coli are harmless, some can cause severe illness. The high temperatures achieved during hot composting are effective in killing off harmful bacteria. However, it's always better to err on the side of caution and assume that some risk remains, even in composted manure. Before we even lay a hand on our gardening tools, let's equip ourselves with some basic safety gear that will minimize the risk of exposure to harmful microorganisms. Wearing gloves is non-negotiable when handling manure, even if it's been composted. Choose sturdy, waterproof gloves that fit snugly to prevent any accidental contact with your skin. Washing your hands thoroughly with soap and water after gardening is crucial, even if you wore gloves. The simple act of washing our hands creates a physical barrier that removes dirt, debris, and any lurking microorganisms. These safety precautions empower us to enjoy our gardening endeavors responsibly, protecting ourselves and our loved ones from potential harm. In the grand scheme of gardening tasks, washing our hands might seem like a trivial detail, but it's arguably the most critical step in ensuring our well-being. This simple act creates a powerful barrier against the spread of harmful microorganisms from the garden to our homes and bodies. The key to effective hand washing is not just a quick rinse, but a thorough scrub using soap and water. Lather your hands generously, ensuring you cover all surfaces, including the backs of your hands, between your fingers, and under your nails. Scrub for at least 20 seconds, about the time it takes to sing Happy Birthday twice. Rinse your hands thoroughly under running water, allowing the water to flow from your wrists to your fingertips, carrying away any lingering soap and debris. By incorporating this simple practice into our routine, we're not just cleaning our hands, we're safeguarding our health and the health of those around us. From waste to wealth, closing the loop. The journey from bird droppings to valuable garden fertilizer is a testament to nature's remarkable ability to transform waste into wealth. By embracing composting, we participate in this natural cycle, mimicking the processes that have sustained ecosystems for millennia. Instead of relying solely on synthetic fertilizers, we can harness the power of natural resources readily available to us. By closing the loop and returning valuable nutrients to the soil, we're fostering a more sustainable and resilient food system. This shift towards natural fertilizers like composted bird manure aligns with a growing movement towards regenerative agriculture, a holistic approach that seeks to work in harmony with nature. Nurturing nature, nurturing ourselves. The benefits of using composted bird manure in our gardens extend far beyond just boosting plant growth. By enriching the soil with organic matter, we're improving its structure, water retention, and ability to support a thriving ecosystem of beneficial microorganisms. This in turn leads to healthier, more resilient plants that are better equipped to resist pests and diseases. Furthermore, by opting for natural fertilizers, we're reducing our reliance on synthetic alternatives, which often require significant energy inputs to produce and can contribute to water pollution and soil degradation. It's a win-win situation. We're nurturing our gardens while simultaneously reducing our environmental footprint. This connection between our gardens and the environment goes beyond just the physical realm. As we engage in the mindful practices of composting and caring for our soil, we cultivate a deeper appreciation for the interconnectedness of all living things. Small steps, big impact, embracing sustainable practices. Transforming bird feces into fertilizer might seem like a small act in the grand scheme of things, but it embodies a powerful shift in perspective, a recognition that waste is not an end product but a valuable resource waiting to be utilized. This shift in thinking can extend to other aspects of our lives as well, encouraging us to seek out sustainable alternatives and reduce our environmental impact. Whether it's composting kitchen scraps, reducing our reliance on single-use plastics, or simply being more mindful of our consumption habits, every small step we take collectively contributes to a healthier planet. It's about recognizing that our individual actions, multiplied by millions, have the power to create meaningful change. The journey towards sustainability is not about achieving perfection, but about making conscious choices that align with our values. It's about recognizing that even small changes, when adopted by many, can have a ripple effect, inspiring others to join the movement towards a more sustainable future. Join the movement, grow with nature, not against it. As we conclude our exploration of transforming bird feces into fertilizer, let's carry with us the key takeaways from this journey. Composting is not just a gardening technique, it's a philosophy, a way of life that embraces the cyclical nature of resources and recognizes the interconnectedness of all living things. It's about shifting from a mindset of waste to one of resourcefulness, understanding that what we might discard as useless can often be transformed into something valuable and beneficial. It's about working in harmony with nature, mimicking its time-tested processes to create a more sustainable and abundant future. So let's take inspiration from the humble bird dropping and its remarkable transformation. Let's embrace composting, not just as a means to fertilize our gardens, but as a symbol of our commitment to a healthier planet. Let's grow with nature, not against it, and together, cultivate a more sustainable and thriving world for generations to come.